if you're okay, this is also reminds me of something. If your ass is gonna be late, this is not just for entrepreneurs, but if your ass is gonna be late, let the fucking person know that you're gonna be late. And it's just so simple. But people, like, you should let people know and not waste their time. Like, at least be like proactive about it and be like, hey, you know, I'm gonna be late. You know, can you please so and so and so, like, yeah, I'm gonna be late. Just FYI, this came up. Or like, you really should never be in those situations unless, like, you know, an actual emergency comes up. But usually, you know, if you're gonna be late, always tell the person that you're gonna be late. Don't just show up late. Actually let the person know or whatever ahead of time, and then, you know, do that. And it sounds so simple, but a lot of people don't do it, and it's just the most disrespectful thing ever, because it's like, no matter who the hell you're showing up to, whether it's a family member or fucking Bill Gates, like, let them know that you're gonna be late. Hopefully you're not late to a meeting with someone like that, but with anyone, you shouldn't should always keep people updated with you know, what your time of arrival is. But that's a really small thing. But overall, people like updates in general. That's one of the things that we're kind of thinking about in the customer journey for Astro Blaster users. So any user that signs up, we try to make sure that they get as many updates as possible without being kind of overwhelming. You know, there is a saying where, like, there's never too much value, and I agree to that to a certain extent. Sometimes it gets messy, but we're thinking about implementing some updates like that. Like, hey, your A2P was submitted, A2P was approved, your phone number was submitted, your phone number was approved, like all this stuff, or like your phone number was submitted to the call registries, and so on and so forth. So just these updates in place, just so that they can hold themselves more accountable, and just so that they can see the value of their service. Because a lot of times you may be working behind the scenes on a lot of stuff for your client, but you're not letting them know, and that keeps them in the dark. So what you got to do in these situations is you really have to keep them posted on everything and anything that happens. Like, instead of, you know, like touching base with them in 2 weeks, or like having an update in 2 weeks, just have these micro updates. Even though it's the same process, if you just send them micro updates, they'll be more informed, and then feel like, you know, they're actually there's no value to price discrepancy. So that's where churn happens, or cancellations happen, or refunds happen, is when there's a high discrepancy, or even any discrepancy between what they're paying for and what value they're getting. So if I paid $1,000 for a service and I feel like I'm getting, you know, $500, I'm gonna be pissed. If I paid $1,000 but I got like $1,500 worth of service, then I would be very happy and I would say good things about that company. So that's really the game of business, is making money, but also like just providing a shit ton of value, not just screwing people over. So finding that balance between the two, that yin and yang, being able to sell something at the absolute right price. It's very hard nowadays with kind of everyone's mindset about info products and stuff. It's like, oh, courses, blah blah blah, and like, oh, your course sucks. And a lot of the courses out nowadays are actually much better than the courses you see on fucking or the college courses. It's like the things we learn today, and you can even find these on YouTube, like a new ad strategy that fucking is crazy, like or like that works really well. You know, you will learn a lot more from the actual courses online, from these quote-unquote gurus and these influencers and these people, than you will from a college education. I promise. Like, you spend $10,000 on a one-on-one mentorship coaching program, because that's what I did. I spent $8,000. I didn't even have $8,000. I was 16. I was like 15, 16. I didn't have $8,000. I was doing monthly payments, and it was the best investment I've ever made in my life, because it got me through the doors to talk to Jamil, and now we have a thriving company. It's like, that's just because I invested and I took the leap of faith in a coaching program like that. And I'm not saying every single online course they see out there right now by these successful people are going to be amazing courses. However, I'm going to say that I can confidently say that most of the courses out there that are legit will be a lot more valuable than the college education stuff you see nowadays. It's just because, like, college education, like, their textbooks are like 10 years behind. So if you actually want to have a competitive edge in your industry, learning 10-year-old knowledge is not really that, not going to give you that much of a competitive edge. So really making sure that, you can also not need to take a year to learn a subject. With courses, you can learn it in a matter of months. And even with college education, spending a year won't really get you any qualification. But if you spend a year in a course, it will get you a ton of qualification. That's if the person is willing to now here's a huge caveat to this, because a lot of people will buy a bunch of courses, whether it's college education or whether it's like education from like these other successful people. If you take all these things and you don't take action, then all of it will render useless, whether it's from college or whether it's from Jamil Damji or Pace Morby. So really at the end of the day, it's really important to make sure that you're getting the right information from the right person, and that you're actually taking action and really lowering your standards to the fact that you're not gonna become a millionaire overnight, and you're definitely not gonna become a millionaire in a month. You won't become a millionaire in a couple months. So and even a year, it's like a lot of people fail. I think they did a study on high schoolers. About like 50% of high schoolers think that they're going to become millionaires for some reason. Now, I am one of the ones that did think I was going to become a millionaire and actually did become a millionaire. So I'm one of the, I guess, lucky few. But I mean, it took hard fucking work. Like, I worked a ridiculous amount. I still work a ridiculous amount, and I very much, I would be embarrassed to say how much I work, to be honest, because I mean, it's just like I don't really even see the sun. I have like a vitamin D. I genuinely, if I showed you my blood report, my blood test results, it would show a vitamin D deficiency. So it's like this is one of the things that was said by another highly successful entrepreneur was it was like, how I know someone is successful is that they have a low deficiency in vitamin D levels, which is really funny, because like we literally don't see the light of day. Like I'm just stuck in my office, and I will be working all day. I'll just be working. Wherever I am, I'm working. I barely get to see the sun, and if I do, it's probably a Sunday. I never have really time to go out with family, and it's a sacrifice right now. And it's not like I'm purposely trying to avoid being with family. It's just like I'm trying to do this right now and build this thing right now, so that I can provide for my family as much as possible in the future. And I think at any point in my journey, I always have to humble myself and be like, Andy, even though you made this money, even though you did all these things, you still have to prove them wrong, bro. You still have fucking people that are ahead of you. You still have all this shit going on. And there will always be someone ahead of me in both fitness, in both money, in both family, relationships, like whatever. But I don't care about the money. I care about just the journey, and the process is really what I care about. I don't really, I mean, yeah, G-Wagon, would a G-Wagon make me fucking excited and happy? Sure, but it's like, it's 100% temporary. Like, this Tesla was one of my dream cars, and I love it, but it's not what gives me true happiness. True happiness really comes from being with my family and being connected with them. So, you know, a G-Wagon and you know, these nice cars, a Cybertruck, a Porsche 911, all this stuff is cool, but like at the end, it's just a toy. Like, it's not something that really brings me joy. And you know, maybe my perspective will shift then, but I doubt it will. I 100% doubt it will, because I mean, I have this now, and it's like I have an AP, and you know, I was probably more happy back then when I closed my first deal than I was, you know, oh shit, I gotta make this really brave exit. And that's so risky. I was like fucking 3 feet away from that bus. But yeah, so again, the journey still continues. It's like, people may see that like I made it or whatever, but I am all I do is just I just work. That's just all I do. I work. I wake up at 7. I'm at the office at like 8. I preferably want to get there sooner. I'm thinking now it's probably going to take me, I timed myself this morning, take me like 15 minutes to get up and going. Like, if I like was intentionally trying to speed up, it would take me 15 minutes. So it's really just like making sure that I lock down my sleep schedule, because I want to be in the office at like 7:30. But I find that I don't actually fall asleep till like 10:30. Even if I like force myself, even if I overdose on melatonin, I won't fall asleep till like 10:30. You know, my mom has trouble falling asleep. You know, maybe it's a family thing, but most of her stuff is like stress related. And like, the thing that hurts me the most is like hearing her be like, you know, I can't sleep because all this work I have to do. And it's like, man, I want to like provide for her so that you know, I can for her not to be able to work, like not need to work, because she doesn't need to work. My goal is to become rich enough to be able to retire my parents before, you know, they retire themselves. So it's definitely a race, and that's the goal. And I make these videos to document my journey, to show that the journey is not always well, it's never pretty. There's very few moments where it's actually pretty. And funny thing is that that's captured on social media. And guess what? This is real. This is the real Andy. And I say a lot of things that entrepreneurs don't say. A lot of it is not sunshine and rainbows at all. This shit is stupid. This shit is all the mean words you can say, but very few times that there will be a like, that is awesome moment. And those moments are so awesome. Like, I had that was awesome moment today. But I mean, again, this like journey is whatsoever not pretty. It's a very disgusting, grimy journey, and it's very risky. You have to be a very risk tolerant person, and you have to be someone who who really is a different breed, like genuinely a different breed, to be able to sustain this level of persistence for this song. Because, like, again, I said this before in one of my tweets, great things take time.